Hey, welcome in, J4, Robin Reeves. Anybody else I missed? Anybody watching on Facebook or YouTube? Thanks for stopping by. This is Stuart with Franklin Hill Ventures. I just went to an estate sale this morning and happened to get lucky with a bunch of ephemera. Have not even looked at it yet. I found it stashed in the back of a closet and it wasn't priced or anything, so he gave me a really good deal on everything that was in the closet. It's basically, here, I'll just show you what we've got down here. It's these two briefcases and then this whole eBay bag full and then these three boxes. And then also got a bunch of other stuff just at other yard sales, not at the estate sale, that's over here that I can show if anybody's interested. But we will find out together what is in all these boxes of ephemera. I mean, I looked in them enough to know that it was like postcards and pictures and things like that, but I really don't know how old it is. I could be like, if you're old like me and remember when Geraldo opened Al Capone's vault and there was nothing in there. I'm hoping that's not what this turns out to be, but you never know. It could be. It could be another Geraldo Rivera Al Capone moment, or we could find some really cool stuff. So we'll see how it goes. Hey, April. Hey, the Moody Mommy. Hey, Jonathan 88. Mamu. Retired 2020. Tori Lynn. Jay Blind. Mystery Sue. P. Carroll. OMA Wendy. Robin Reeves. I think I said hi to you already. Thank you so much for coming in. And I guess we'll get started. Let me just show you real quick the stuff I got at the yard sales, not at the estate sale. Oh, cool. I'm glad it got there so quick, and I hope you liked them. I love those ice coupon booklets. And I think those might have been the last ones I had. I bought a bunch of them at an auction one time, I think. So, although those may have been different ones since they were in a box. But in any case, I'm glad you got them. Hey, Carol 56. So just real quick, here's the stuff that I got that was not at the estate sale and that's not ephemera. I thought I got some pretty cool stuff. I mean, I know these aren't worth a lot, but it was like on the quarter table. I don't know if anybody remembers these, the Ovenex bakeware. They're aluminum. I mean, I have sold them before, but anyway, thought it was cool enough to buy for a quarter. I also thought this was just funny, so I got it. Does anybody read Mother Goose and Grimm? This is from 1993 because it's got happy birthday on the back, but it says, Grimmy, did you swallow that pill I gave you? And this reminds me of my dog, is why, I mean, when we give our dog or cat medicine, it says, Grammy, did you swallow that pill I gave you? I don't believe you. Come on, open up. Let's see, open up. And then the dog's thinking, I hate it when Mondays start with body cavity searches. So I don't know what I'll do with that. It'll probably go to my booth, but I thought it was funny, so I bought it. Hey, C. Bradshaw, Carol 56. Thanks for coming in. I love this tote bag somebody made out of an old rice bag. It's got a zipper and everything on it. I don't know if I'll sell that or just use it when I go to sales. But yeah, somebody just basically took a burlap bag and added a zipper to the top, and now you can use it for whatever. Let's see what else we've got over here. So we're going to get into ephemera here in just a second. That's really what I'm looking forward to, since I don't know what's in there. But like I said, I did think I'd show you the stuff that I got at the yard sales. I did get this Avengers t-shirt. It's not particularly old. I think it's 2008 is what I looked. You know, although, can anybody else not believe that 2008 was 15 years ago? Is that right? Or 16 years ago? I mean, it does not seem possible. Yeah. I mean, when I graduated high school in 1985, that's like a lifetime ago now. Anyway, I got that Avengers t-shirt. I did think this was pretty cool. Yeah, I know. I don't do a whole lot with clothes, but this was a Lady Wrangler piece, and I'm pretty sure it's somewhat vintage. I'll put it in my booth with all my other like t-shirts I sell, but it's like red, white, and blue. Looks kind of like the Pizza Hut tablecloth. Is what it reminded me of. But anyway, thought that was pretty cool. And if anybody does see anything that they're interested in, just let me know, and I'll let you know what it'll take to start the bidding. And I do the shipping, everything's a flat rate, and then I combine shipping and refund any overages. But just so you know, here's how I do the shipping. If you're in the US, it's 5, 8, 10, or 12, depending on the weight there. And if you're in Canada, there's the prices there. And the ones who bought from me before, like April, she's up in Canada and she can validate that, A, I package really well and ship really quick, but I do refund shipping for any overages that you pay. These napkins caught my eye. Like, once again, I mean, this is kind of outside what I normally do, but they look like they were, I don't know. I just thought they were cool napkins. And there was a set of 4 of them, so I'll package them up and stick them in the booth. Does anybody ever never use cloth napkins anymore? We do at holidays when we pull the fine china out that we got for our anniversary, or not for our anniversary, that we got when we got married, that we literally only use once a year. Yeah, I think you're right, because they also had a print that had the Croatian alphabet, which I almost bought it, but they just had it priced a little bit high. So I'm thinking maybe this, I think it was Croatian. So maybe this is that same like Croatian alphabet or something. Um, this was actually at a house in my neighborhood, and it's somebody I've been to their house before. It was kind of cool. I've told y'all before, like most of my business, I do this full time. So a lot of my business is built around relationships. And so I kind of knew this person when I went to their house, and they did tell me that, they had some stuff that they'd held back and they were going to call me about because it was like nicer stuff. I guess they didn't want to put out at the sale. So looking forward to seeing what it is. Does anybody remember these paper mache trays? Um, they always say alcohol proof. And I assume, does anybody know why they say alcohol proof? I don't know. I didn't know if it was because, like when they burn alcohol, if some got spilled on there, or like could you clean it with alcohol? But I know these are paper mache, and but like any of your paper mache things you get, and they're usually made in Japan, but they always have pretty cool designs. Like this is like paisleys or something, but I need to look that up. Just if anybody knows, so let me know why it's important that they're alcohol proof. Oh, these were really cool. Um, It's like a set of 4 either Aztec or Mayan type figures. I don't know if they're just resin. They're probably just resin, or if they're carved from something else. But there's a set of 4 different ones of those. Hey, welcome in, Shorty G, Fantonia, Maricat, Norway. Wow, are you in Norway? That's cool. Somehow it might protect the paper. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but they always say alcohol proof on them. Like I don't know if it's something they used to use. I don't know, or maybe if you get drunk and spill your alcohol on them, it won't damage them. Maybe that's what it's all about. Um, then I love this dish I found. This thing weighs, I mean, it's extremely heavy. It weighs 1 pound, 8 ounces. So it's shaped like a flower, and it had a date of 1948 on it. I'm not sure who made it, but you can see the mark on the back there. And then there's where it says 1948. So thought that was a really cool trinket dish. And then, I don't know, just a few other things. Then we'll jump into the ephemera. A little 24 karat, 22 karat gold dish. Let's see here. Oh, these were neat. I don't know if somebody made them, but just some little fish frames. There's like a set of 3 of them. I mean, they're probably, I don't know, maybe they're just Hobby Lobby or something, but they were really cool anyway. And this was one of my favorite things I found today, a little cast iron coin bank. I mean, it's in such good condition. My guess is it's probably, oh, hold on a second, McKay. Let me grab them again. I mean, my guess is this is probably a repop, just because to find something in this good a condition would be very surprising, but it's still really cool. Cast iron, you have to unscrew the screw to do the bank. On this, I would do. I'd do a. I'll do a $10 start on that, and then on the fish frames, I would do. For the 3 fish frames, I would do an $8 start on these. So let me know if you want me to add those and run them, and I can. And the shipping, let me tell you how much it'll weigh so you know how much you're looking at in shipping. The bank's going to be between 1 and 2 pounds, so that's going to be that's going to be $8 shipping, and I think these are probably going to be the same. Yeah, so they're both going to be $8 shipping. So let me know yes on the frames. So let me go ahead and get those added real quick, and I'll tell you what. And I'll add the mailbox too. All right, everybody, bear with me while I add these. That's the only thing about doing these unboxing shows is you do have to kind of take. But I've gotten pretty fast at doing it. So auction, we'll just call it. I do take a little bit of time to at least add a description so I know what it is when I go to ship it out. All this stuff, it is Friday, so most likely it won't ship out till Monday morning. There's a small chance I might get it out tomorrow, but I will be gone like most of the morning tomorrow going to yard sales as well. On the south end of Knoxville, they are having a big like community type yard sale that some realty company sponsoring. So I'm going to go over to South Knoxville and see what all they have. So let's see. Grab my shipping sheet here. So it's going to be $8. And then for Canada, Canada's going to be $16.99. Hope everybody's having a good Friday. Glad it's the weekend. I'm so glad it's Friday, but the weather here in Knoxville's been like schizo. It was like almost 80 a couple of days ago, and then it's been getting down in the 30s the last 2 nights, and then it's going to be back up close to 80 by Monday or Tuesday. So it's really crazy. All right, so I got the mailbox added. Let me put the fish frames. And we said $8. Yeah, hopefully I don't lose everybody while I have the dead air while I get these added, but I appreciate your patience. I think that's right. List item, add to stream. All right, we'll go ahead and I got the fish frames in my hand, so we'll run those first. Let me get them added to the stage. Move to stage. Let's see. Well, it didn't show up. There we go. Okay, now I see them over there. Let me just show them to you one more time. Let me get my ruler out, or my measuring tape out, so I can tell you what they are square, and they are each 6.5 inches on these. So you have a white one. They all have like gold trim. You can see the back. So I guess the mirror's just sealed up in there, and they have the little hook to hang them with. And then there's a red one. And same thing on the back. And then finally, there's a blue one. So you got those 3. So let me go ahead and start this. I'm just running everything for 15 seconds. So it should go quick. And here we go. That is running. Hey, Woodnever at home, Philly Gal. While that train, I'll say hi to some people. Hey, Vandy Quinn, Linda Louise, Sermonator, Connie Creates, Ladybug Cottage. Anybody else I've missed, welcome in. My name is Stuart. I'm with Franklin Hill Ventures here in Knoxville, Tennessee. And in addition to selling on knickknacks, I sell, thank you, McKay. As I mentioned, these should ship out no later than Monday. In addition to knickknacks, I sell on 6 or 7 other online platforms, and then I also have 3 antique booths here in the Knoxville area. So if you're ever coming through town, make sure you stop at West End Antiques, Beard and Antique Mall, both in West Knoxville, or at Granny's Attic in Clinton, Tennessee. And I will just mention real quick, if you're anywhere close to the Knoxville area, the first weekend in May, it's going to be the Spring Antique Festival. It's the Clinton River Antique Festival, I believe, or maybe this one's just the Spring Antique Festival. But in any case, They close all the streets off for the weekend in Clinton, all the antique malls in the area, and there's a bunch of them right in walking distance of each other. They have live music, food, and it's just a fun time. So yeah, if you're anywhere close to Knoxville, plan on coming down for that. And next, let me go ahead and get this added to the stage, or moved to the stage. And let me just show it again real quick. Let me get my, this thing is just about 4 inches tall. So if you can see that. And as I mentioned, it's in really good condition. So I don't know if it's, you know, a repo or not, but still very cool. And you drop the coin in here, and then it's got a place to hang it on the wall, and then there's where you would unscrew it. It does have a marking on it. It's either like, it's J something. Let me see if I can hold it up. Oh, you know what? You can, I think it's JW. So I don't know. That's the first, I tried it with a magnifying glass and I couldn't see it, but it's clear as day on the camera now, JW. So anyway, we'll go ahead and start this one. It's going to be a $10 start, $8 shipping, and here we go. Hey, Firefighters Mom, Annie Jan, Kiki Clark, thanks for the bid, C. Smith. I try to give people really good deals here on Knickknacks. I mean, you know, I would obviously put more on this if it makes it to my booth, but a lot of things I do bring here before I send them out. All right, congratulations on that, and that will be coming your way. Where are you located, C. Smith? Where will the mailbox be going to? The mailbox inside of a box being sent by mail. All right, so I think that was everything that I was going to show that came out of the yard sale stuff that wasn't ephemera. So now we'll get into the reason I'm guessing most people came, since that was the title of the show, is into the ephemera unboxing. You get all this stuff back in the box. I'll tell you what, give me just a second. I'm going to move this so I got a little more room. My office is pretty tight in here. A lot of times when I do live shows, I do them kind of next door. Oh, that's cool. Well, good. I'm glad you got that then, and I hope you enjoy it. Give me just a second if I can keep from tripping while I walk out of here. Let's see. We'll just stick this right there. All right. So real quick again, here's what we're going to be going through. There were these two briefcases, these two boxes here, and then you can see how tall this eBay bag is, and it's crammed full of boxes as well. So the story is, I was at an estate sale this morning. Oh, let me turn my camera back around. I was at an estate sale this morning, and I mean, I tend, when I go to estate sales, I don't know if anybody else does this. I mean, I always look at the books first, and then I tend to go like see if I can find ephemera, and I've like look in closets, and all this stuff was like on a shelf, shoved in the back of a closet. I don't know if they didn't know it was there, but in any case, they hadn't priced any of it. I just looked at it enough to know that it all looked cool, and so they gave me a price, and I bought it all. So you'll be seeing it with me for more or less the first time. So, and I don't know if I'm going to go through every bit of this. I know Crazy Lamp Lady comes on at like 4:30, so we'll probably rate in her if we're finishing up then. But I don't know. I guess we'll look at these postcards and just if you see anything, or if you want me to wad up stuff, I don't know. I'm very flexible in how I sell this stuff. Let me just grab a stack here, and we'll start going through it and see what all we have. So this is, hey, there's Vermont. Speaking of Vermont, Ludlow, Vermont. I guess that's ski slopes up there. I don't know much about ski slopes. We have Ober-Gatlinburg and Gatlinburg, but I've been told that's not real skiing. Then we have Longs Ridge. I guess that's, looks to be foreign maybe. Here's looks to be a real photo postcard. And I probably won't go through everything in this box just because it'd take a while. But if there's anybody specifically interested in postcards, let me know. And if there's certain things you're looking for, let me know and we can kind of skim through them. This one's from 1912. That's pretty cool. Got the stamp on it there. Las Cruces, New Mexico. This is very random box of stuff. There's some deer. This is actually, yeah, I guess it's somebody, it's a photo that was, I guess it's a real photo postcard, but it looks newer than like the real, like technical definitions of real photo postcards. So I don't know, these people must have made these postcards to send to all their friends. I'm going to skip the rest of those because they're more or less the same. There's a cow and a deer. It's a DuPont Defender postcard. Here's Yale University. That one's from 1954, according to the postmark on the back. There's the Minnesota State Capitol. You know, to be honest, Ladybug Cottage, I don't know because I don't know what all's in here. I mean, I knew there were postcards in this box because it was open like this when I got it, but I didn't even dig through them to see what all was in it. But I tell you what, if we see any Florida, we'll just set them aside and then maybe we'll come up with enough for a lot. There's a hotel in Rockwood, Tennessee. That's right down the road from where I am. Here's another one that's Lookout Mountain Hotel. That's up in near Chattanooga. That's actually a college now, I believe, if that's the same place that I'm thinking of. What's the Covenant College, I think it is. Here's another Chattanooga, Tennessee, Chickamauga Battlefield. There's migrating Canada geese. They can stay away from here. They make a mess. There's a World's Fair postcard, Saudi Arabia, 1982 World's Fair. Tell you what, I'm going to skip some of these. These are all a bunch of animals here, and they're chrome. They're not, unless just chime in if you want to see them, but otherwise, these just look to all be, at least this top part. If I see any cool ones, I'll show. Like, that's cool. There's an ostrich. That one looks a little older. It says, visited ostrich farm April 10th, 1911. Seen this bird. So they even used bad grammar back in 1911. There's another World's Fair one. If any of you been in my shows before, you've heard me say when I was 15 years old, because that would have been 1982, I went to the World's Fair that summer 130 plus times or so. My buddy and I would catch the bus right down from where I lived, and we would ride the bus down there and spend all day mainly at the arcade trying to pick up girls and then come home at night. This is from the 1904 St. Louis World's Fair. It's even postmarked that. That's really cool. So, but I guess that's one of the buildings at the 1904 World's Fair. Looks like maybe some, I don't know what ethnicity they are. Oh, here's a battleship. That's pretty cool. I don't know how old it is. I would guess 40s based on the ship. Anybody else? Hey, Moon Sky Vintage, thanks for coming in. We're just going through Ephemera. I got it in a estate sale this morning, and I really have no idea what I have. I was not cleaning out, but I found all this stuff in a closet, and they gave me a price for everything. I thought it was reasonable, so I bought it. I mean, I would have bought it probably no matter what they told me the price was because it's going to be so much fun to go through this. I figured I have to go through this. Hey, Finders, Pickers, Paper. I have to go through this stuff anyway, so hey, I might as well do it with my friends. This is, I have no idea. Some cathedral. Look at that. That is awesome. Very bad condition, but she's got like a big mortar and pestle type thing, and she's crushing something. I have no idea what it is. Okay, some more I'm just going to skip. Some of these newer chromes I'm just going to skip. and just show you if I see anything interesting. There's some kind of little book. I don't know what this is. Let's see. It says Airlie House. It's in Virginia. Has anybody ever heard of the Airlie House? It says it's operated by the Airlie Foundation, a nonprofit corporation chartered by the Commonwealth of Virginia. It's a conference center. But it looks like an old, like almost like Frank Lloyd Wright type architecture, I guess. Look at all those windows. That's really cool. So, yeah, it's just got a bunch of pictures. I'm sure I could read this and find out all about the history, but we won't do that right now. There's some Biltmore postcards. Anybody been to the Biltmore? We went there on our honeymoon. We've been a time or two since then, but that's an impressive house. Let's see. I haven't seen anything from Florida. There's a White House. There's, oh, here we go. Here's the Haunted Mansion at Walt Disney World. So we'll set that one off to the side. That's the first Florida one I've seen. Here's the Smithsonian Institution. Haymar 1957, Gigi 3. More Washington, D.C. Here's the Sea of Galilee. And there's still so many in here. This is going to take forever. There's W.C. Handy in the Handy Park. Is that Memphis, I think? Yeah, Memphis, Tennessee. What's the song Walking in Memphis? And they talk about W.C. Handy. There's one from 1908. It was postmarked at Station X. All right, I'll tell you what. Let's move on to another box of stuff. It just looks like more of the same. I don't see any. I mean, there's been the occasional old one in here, but it's not like a whole box of real photo postcards. I'll leave this Disney one out just in case we find any more Florida stuff. But we can always come back to postcards later if anybody specifically wants to see them. All right, one box down, a bunch to go. Let's see what we got in this one. This looks to be all postage stamps, like first day cover type stuff. Here, let me just show you. So, once again, there's a pile of stuff to go through in there. Let's see what we got here. There's a 1969 JFK, and I don't know, that's a first day of issue. It's more like just a commemorative envelope from 1969. Oh, this one's cool. If anybody's into like ships, like military. Well, this one's Coast Guard, which, yeah, that's military. But it's got the, says USCGC Morris. This was the decommission. It's easy for me to say. Hey, Peggy. The decommissioning ceremony. And then it's also got an image on the back as well. I'm not sure what this one is. It's a first day issue of whatever stamp that is. Here's a Sir Winston Churchill in memoriam souvenir cover. I mean, is anybody going to be interested at all in these first day covers? I'm not going to look at every one because there's a million of them in here. Hey, here's a Canada one, April, from Ottawa, Ontario. It's, I don't know, I don't know if it's a first day issue or just some kind of souvenir type cover. Then here's one that's so these are a little older. Well, no, this one's 1970. It's some kind of railroad one. I'll just kind of spot pull some and see what else in here. Because, yeah, it would take us like all day to look at all these. I mean, maybe if y'all can let me know if anybody's like interested in this sort of thing, I could dedicate a whole show just to first day issues. But yeah, this is like, here's a baseball one, the first day of issue for the baseball stamp in 1969. These all appear to be like late 60s. not early 70s maybe. And there's the pro football one that would go with the baseball one. There's Dwight Eisenhower. Here's another Canada, first day of issue. Hey, Robin GG. Oh, yeah. Robin GG, thanks for coming in. For anybody else who does lives, it's really hard to see the names on the phone because of the colors. I have to look over at my computer where I have the show pulled up. Yeah, there's a lot of... Oh, this one's cool. So here's the Kentucky Derby first day issue, and it's got like a newspaper clipping with the Kentucky Derby field from I'm assuming it's from 1974. Let's see which horses were in this. So it was Agitate, Cannonade, Lexico, Acapeter, Flip Soil. Let's see if we can figure out which one won. See if we've heard of any of these. JR's Pet, Bold Clarion, Little Current, Crimson Ruler, Rube the Great, Pot McGrader, Gahe, Destroyer, Confederate Yankee, Triple Crown. One of them's named Triple Crown. Hudson County, Set and Go, Sir Something, Golden Murd, Judger, and Buck's Bid. I have no idea which one won the Kentucky Derby in 1974. But anyway, there was the list. There's a bunch of Christmas first day issues. So there's a wide variety of things in here. All right, we'll come back to those if there's anybody who might be interested. That's cool. It gives me a lot to look at. Oh, that's cool. And I'll have to figure out, the best way to. I'll probably end up lighting this up into like kinds, and selling them on eBay or somewhere like that. Oh, it's more of them. So let's see what's in this one. See if it's any different or. Let's see. There's Apollo 14. Recovery Force. So this one's not like a first day, but it's just I guess a commemorative. There's another Apollo 14. There's an Apollo 15. There's another Apollo 15 in a different color. There's Apollo 15 in another color. Here's a different kind of Apollo 15. Let's see. Here's the First Man on the Moon. That one is a first day issue. Yeah, cool story. When I was a kid, my mom made me stay up to watch the moon landing. I was like a year old, so I don't remember it. I guess I was more like 2 years old. But I can say that I saw the first man on the moon. Yeah, all these look like space ones. So here's Apollo 12. Apollo 14. Here's the 10th anniversary of the Freedom 7. Some kind of rocket one there. Here's the Skylab Project first day issue. So a lot of space ones if anybody's interested in space. Yeah, there's the Apollo Soyuz. Apollo 15 again. There's General MacArthur. First day of issue. Here's a commemoration of the Air, Postal, and Courier Group. Yeah, I wished I remembered it. I've obviously seen other tape of it since then, but I did get to stay up and watch it. Let's see what this is. Here's something from the Balloon Festival. So I don't know. There's a ton of first day issues that I'll have my work cut out to go through. Yeah, so I'm sure you remember it then. I have those what would you call it? Like when you have memories of things you think you remember, but it's based on things that you saw. All right, so we have our choice now. Let me flip the camera around. We can either go briefcases or we can start pulling from these boxes here. So Just let me know whether you want to see a briefcase or whether you want to see a box. So I don't guess it really matters. I don't know what's in either one. So, hey, Laurie Brooks, thanks for coming in. Anybody else I missed? Just for anybody who's just coming in, I'm Stuart with Franklin Hill Ventures. Went to an estate sale this morning, pulled a bunch of ephemera, or brought a bunch of ephemera back home, and we are just going through it. I have no idea what's in these boxes. So, as I mentioned at the beginning, it could be like when Geraldo opened Al Capone's vault and found like nothing, or we could find some really cool stuff. Actually, I mean, we just all these first day covers, just finding those was really cool. Hey, well, let me just start pulling from the top here. These look like, this box looks like a little bit of everything. There's greeting cards. Here's a Marilyn Monroe greeting card. It's from 1999. So once again, I say not old, but it's hard to believe 99 was that long ago. It was a happy birthday card. So here's a state of Tennessee engineering license. Here's a Guilford College sports schedules from 1991. Let's see. Greensboro, North Carolina is where Guilford College is. Some certificate of appreciations. I'm not going to show all this. Like I said, I have no idea what's in here. Here's a baseball scorebook. Let's see if we can figure out how old that is. It's from the Rawlings Manufacturing Company, St. Louis, Missouri. Let's see if there's a date or anything on anywhere. This was Cleveland versus KC. So somebody must have used this when they went to the games. Let me look and see some of the names if I can. See if I recognize anybody. I mean, of course, this may or may not be like Major League Baseball that they were scoring. That could have been like just they used the names of the teams. This one's Cincinnati and Atlanta, 1980. Okay, so here we go. I recognize all the Atlanta names. So this is from 1980. So you have, for Atlanta, you had Glenn Hubbard, Dale Murphy, Chris Chambliss. Is it Greg Matthews, I think was his name? Bob Horner, Burrows. I don't remember his first name. Was it Greg Benedict? Larvell Blanks, Al Hrabowski. Yes, so I reckon Dave Concepcion for Cincinnati, Ken Griffey, Ray Knight, Johnny Bench, Charlie Leibrandt. So yeah, this is pretty cool. I mean, it's I'm sure it's just somebody when they would go to the games. And here's the All-Star game. They actually, or maybe they just watched them on TV. I don't know, but in any case, they like scoring all the games. So you got a baseball scorebook. It's like a money bag from the Bank of Oak Ridge. Yeah, and the rest of this just looks like greeting cards. I mean, does anybody use greeting cards for junk journaling or anything? They don't look particularly old. Let's see if I can find a date on anything. 2000. So it looks like they're just 2000s. But anyway, all kind of greeting cards. As I mentioned, I'm not going to go through all those. Oh, so here's some photographs that are in here. These look older. This was part of a real photo postcard there. What's everybody got planned for the weekend? Anything exciting? I know I'm going to more yard sales tomorrow. There's like a funeral card. Maybe that's also like the guy who died there. There's his gravestone. Polaroids. Who remembers taking Polaroid pictures? And shake it like a Polaroid picture. Yeah, it's just a mix of pictures. Check out this baby here. 1935. It was 5 months and 1 week is how old the kid was there. Hey, December Heart. Let's see what we got here. Oh, does anybody want to hear what this family was doing for Christmas? Here's their Christmas letter. Let's see. We'll just hit the highlights. Um, See, Jackie's found a job she likes. Eric, maybe he's the one who needs a small school. Um, Susan made it through college and decided she wanted to major in drafting. All our grandchildren are coming along, nothing to worry about. Murph finally got his orders to go to California in March, and then he's going to Rapid City. So there you go. There's their end of the year highlights. There's actually a couple of those too. So let's see. I think everything else in here. I mean, this is completely full here. Yeah, and that's why I never like people will say, I'm not going to source anymore until I get through all my stuff. But I mean, COVID's a good example. You never know when something's going to happen that'll keep you from sourcing. So I never turn down a sourcing opportunity, and you can tell by it. You can tell it when you look in my garage. But yeah, you just never know when something's going to happen that will keep you from sourcing or whatever. So yeah, it's good you had inventory to tide you over. Yeah, these are just all greeting cards, and I'm not gonna. Well, here's some letters. Let's see if anything of note in those letters. If I can get these back in here, give me just a second. Let me set these letters over here. Thanks for following everywhere. Set them here. There we go. Let me see if any of these have any age or anything. 1998, 98. Yeah, most of these appear to be newer. What in the world is this? Oh, it's like it's just a packing list. Does anybody else ever think about, I'm in Tennessee, I'm in Knoxville, Tennessee. When you go to estate sales, I always think, here's what my life will be reduced to one day. It's a bunch of strangers walking through my house, picking through all my stuff. Here's something that was written in 1984, and it says, by Jackie. When I was 7 years old, my father got a job in Mississippi, and we all moved down there from New Jersey to be with him. Everyone in my family hated it except me, but I think that was only because I was too young to know the difference. Every day, my brother Michael and I walked the 2 miles from our house into the center of town to school. Our route took us what my mother called the bad section of town, that section of town where the houses weren't all neat and trim with white picket fences, but where the lawns were overgrown with weeds and old worn-out tires, the poor section. Every morning, my mother would say to me, Jason, mind your brother and look both ways before crossing, and don't talk to strangers, and be especially careful going through the bad section. Then she would give us each a kiss and send us out the door. Let's see if there's anything. It's a really well-written piece of something. Let's see. At the beginning of March, Michael got the flu, so Mama sent me to school by myself with an extra warning about the bad section. Jason, she said, don't you dare talk to any strangers, especially not today when you're by yourself, and hurry through the bad section. That's pretty interesting. I'll have to read it. I mean, I love reading old stuff like this. I mean, this 1984, I was a junior in high school, but so I guess that means I'm old. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's fascinating to see all this stuff. Bunch of letters there. And here's a letter they wrote to their paper boy. God, this one's like just completely all full of stuff. I mean, does anybody else? I don't know if anybody else is an ephemera person like me, but I mean, I sell everything from china to glassware to collectibles to furniture to artwork to sports cards to, everything in between. But ephemera is really my favorite just because of the stories and stuff that are always surrounding ephemera. whether it's old photos, and you can just imagine, what the people's circumstances might have been, or, finding old letters. I especially like finding old letters from the 1800s and those times. But yeah, they're just so neat to go through and just seeing, people's life stories. Oh, look, the Great Wall of China. My daughter's been there. I have never been there. My daughter's been everywhere. She did study abroad in Chile and went to like every South American country while she was there. And then her and my youngest daughter hiked 500 miles in Spain a couple of summers ago. They did 100 miles in Switzerland, France, Austria, Italy last summer. And then she went to China while she was in high school. So she's done a little bit of everything. All right, so that was kind of that box. I mean, some interesting stuff I'll have to go through later. Yeah, I've been able to tell your passions, ephemera finders, pickers paper, just from the stuff that you bought from me, and I'm right on the same page with you. And I'm kind of the same way. I'm constantly buying it. I seek it out when I go to yard sales and estate sales. And the good thing is that at least here in Knoxville, I mean, there are people who look for it, but even if I'm not like the first person at an estate sale, if there's ephemera there, it seems like it's almost always still there when I get there. Let's see. I'm hoping my son's in Louisville and just want to go thrifting. I have never been thrifting in Louisville. So I don't know if it's any good or not. My son's been to the Kentucky Derby up there with a friend, but I used to go there for work a long, long time ago, back when I was still kind of out in the, quote, real world. All right, let's see what's in this box. All right, box number 2. Here's some more first day issues, so I'm not going to go through all those. These look newer. These are like 80s. In fact, they're all 87, 88. So it would be all those commemorative stamps from that time frame. Here's, does anybody need to learn to tie a tie? So what's funny, and it's also got how to tie a bow tie. So when my daughter got married, they had tie bow ties, and I did not know how to tie one. And there was one guy in the wedding party for some reason who knew how to tie a bow tie, so he tied everybody's. And then the funny thing is, so when my son was in high school, he would have to wear a tie like to away games for basketball and things like that. And he never learned to tie a tie at that point. For some reason, my daughter, I don't know why she taught herself to tie a tie, but she would tie his tie anytime he needed it tied. So anyway, so if you need to learn to tie a tie, there you go. Picture. See, this is what I really like, just when you get into this random stuff here. Here's somebody's social security card. I'm not going to show the number. Looks like an older one. Here's Mickey Finn's Roaring 20s Warehouse number 1. Does anybody know what Mickey Finn's is? Let's see. This is your permanent membership card, good until the return of Prohibition and even if that. So it's just a bar. So this was in San Diego. There's what the back looks like. That's kind of cool. Has anybody ever heard of Mickey Finn's? Who's out in California? Here's the draft card. Let's see. 1965 draft card. His draft number was 13363545, classified in 3A by the local board, May 26, 1965. So, oh, cool. Thank you, Finders Pickers Paper. A great bar in San Diego. Here's another selective service. So this guy dumped his wallet, and here's what it looks like. Here's his electrical engineering certificate from 1957. And then there's a picture. So it makes you wonder if these pictures are somehow related to the guy there. Here's some kind of medals. Look like military uniform things there. Here's some Confederate currency replicas. They look old and actually feel old. Let's see, it came with the Virginia $100 bill. This is set B. So this is the Confederate States of America $500, the Texas $5, Tennessee Bank of Chattanooga $2, Louisiana $100, Florida $1, and Alabama $100. So, oh yeah, so we saw the scorebook earlier with Cincinnati Reds in it. The person who's lived at this house must have been a Cincinnati Reds fan. I have no idea. I mean, they're not Cincinnati Reds autographs because they're like girls' names. It must have been like a class autograph book, maybe. Oh yeah, because here's some things they wrote: "Have a good summer. Have a nice hot summer. Have a nice summer. I have liked you all during school. You're strong and fun to play with." From Keith. And then roses are red, violets are blue, sugar is sweet, and I love you. That was from his mom. So you got that little autograph book that they made. And then here's another set of the Confederate currency. Here's the Declaration of Independence. I think that's the original copy there. Reproduced on antiqued parchment that looks and feels authentically old. And then you have the first settlers of Jamestown. So they must have been on a trip and gotten all this stuff. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, I've come just dealing in antiques. Like, I've really come across some cool stuff. One day I was working at my antique mall in Clinton. I don't own the antique mall, but I have a booth there, and I work there a couple of times a month. And so this lady came in, and she came up to the counter and had this picture in her hand. And she goes, "I'm almost positive this is, my great-great-great-grandfather." And she pulled a picture up on her phone, and she was from another state. And I mean, it looked exactly the same. I mean, we were looking at like his nose and ears and stuff. So she ended up buying the picture. I mean, I don't know for sure, but what are the odds you go in an antique mall in a state you're not from and you find a picture of somebody who might be your relative? So, all right, this says 1951, and then it says 1983, and it says inventory. I have no idea what's in here. Here's some, I think these are like pieces of wrapping paper, Christmas wrapping paper. I thought they were napkins at first, but they're not napkins. And they just have some notes and stuff written on them. See, this is what I think so cool about ephemera is just that you just never know what you're going to find. My roommate still remembers her grandmother having the same. Yeah, I mean, I would tell you what, Laurie, I know they have the ID Me section on knickknacks. You could probably post a picture of it there and get some ideas about, what it might be exactly and what it might be worth. So they were having an antique sale, and they list all the antiques. So it says antique and household sale Saturday, June 4th, 625 East Street in Tabor, Iowa. Oak dresser 1911, oak dresser with mirror 1890. I wonder if this is from 1959 or from the 1980s, since it had both dates written on it. There's something from 1969. I think it's from 1981 is when this is from, because I did find one that had a date on it. So anyway, this is just a notebook that's originally from 1951, and I guess they repurposed it in 1983. Here's a real photo postcard. Let's see what's on that. I wonder if it's like they never tell you what it is, but there's somebody going through in a car. I wonder if it's maybe like a president, or see the car in the middle of the crowd there. And then I wonder if this is the same day. And like, just if anybody's ever wondering, like for real photo postcards, you can get a general idea of the date. If you see where it says place stamp here, it'll have like the letters and numbers and different things around it. And you can Google like dating RPPC postcards, and you can like narrow the date down. You can find like resources that'll tell you, what age something might be based on that. But Azo is like one of the companies that made these. So, but yeah, I don't know if this is from the same day. But yeah, another cool RPPC there. So yeah, at least this box has some older stuff in it. Oh, wonder what we're gonna find in here. Letters of World War One. Wonder if they're original or if they're gonna be copies. We're about to find out. Once sold ephemera to a lady that was a nurse in the Philippines during the war. The ephemera. Oh wow, that is really cool. Yeah, well, let's see here. I think it's original. American Expeditionary Forces, soldier's letter. More than one letter may be sent in this envelope. It was from Charles Adams. Just looking to see if I could see the date. It was sent to Tabor, Iowa. So here's and it was examined by base. Oh, so this is cool. This is what I like finding. Okay, so here's the front. So I'm going to be really careful getting this out. All right, so here's the letters that are in it. Let's see what we got here. Okay, there's a lot. So it's okay. 1918 is when this was written. So, dear Bess, received a letter from Clarence. Also, maybe pictures, which I was very glad to get. The one of Peggy is, let's see, something. The window was real good. I'm not going to read this whole thing. It's very. If y'all are like me, you start reading into this old stuff. I mean, the writing's not bad. It's just like different than we write. You have to really, really use your brain to figure it out. So I'll probably try to struggle through these later. Yeah. So American X Forces or something was how it was signed. So you have that one. Golly, this is so cool. Yeah, I have noticed like Knickknacks is not the like biggest ephemera place yet. Um, I mean, I usually have anywhere between like when I do ephemera shows like this, I'll have anywhere between 10 and 30 people, but then if I do a glassware show, I'll have like 30 to 60 people. And glassware to me is just far less interesting, but I know, Jocelyn, Crazy Lamp Lady, she's kind of a glassware person. So I think a lot of the people who are on Knickknacks now are glassware first, which is cool too. I mean, I sell a ton of it. So, um, yeah, this is another one to Clarence and Bess. I received my Christmas package today and I was more than surprised to find all that it contained. The Kodak was a most pleasant surprise. Uh, we are permitted to use a Kodak in camp. No, we are not permitted to use a Kodak in camp. I think I can some many pictures that will help to remember France, and some pictures that will help others to remember, or something letter or give better ideas of things we try to describe. So they must be in France. So anyway, that's pretty cool. There's all kind of stuff down in here. Let me see if I can get it back in here without tearing the envelope. Yeah, and for anybody just coming in, we're going through ephemera that I found. Oh, so I bet these are somehow related to World War One too, because they would be about the right time frame. Because it looks like most of the stuff in this box is going to be like World War One stuff. Yeah, so here's two more. I'm not going to open these. I mean, unless somebody just wants me to. Let me make sure there's not any pictures or anything. No, it just looks like letters. So there's another letter. That was also to Tabor, Iowa. And it was a first lieutenant in the U.S. infantry. And then there's another one. So I got 3 of those World War I letters there. Let me just stick them back in here. And I'm going to put those postcards in with it, since they look to be from the same time period. So I don't know what's going to be in here, but it says John Planning Company, 123 North Wacker Drive at Randolph Street, Chicago 6, Illinois. And it does say BGA 1905 and 1906. So let's see what we got here. Okay, so this is First State Bank, Tabor, Iowa. And it is, I think it's a deposit book, maybe. Yeah. It starts in 1939 and goes all the way up to 1943. So it's just records of deposits. And then here's another one. This one's leather bound. This one looks to be older. Let's see when this one starts. This one starts 1905. So this one's much older. But yeah, just 2 bank deposit books, ledgers. And this one's also First National Bank, Tabor, Iowa. It does have some wear on the back. Yeah, just this box makes it all worth it. I mean, not just from a monetary standpoint, but like all the stuff I could see, I knew it was newer, like all those greeting cards and stuff. But I had no idea. Oh, here's a class of 1908. It says Tabor High School graduating exercises, May 22nd, 1908 at the Congregational Church. And it's just the like order of the graduation ceremony, I guess. Hey, welcome in Arizona Gal 77, Brioil, Sasha Pumoni, Yield Shop 25, Nesting Haven, anybody else I missed. My name's Stuart. I'm with Franklin Hill Ventures here in Knoxville, Tennessee. Went to an estate sale this morning, found all this ephemera. So we're just kind of going through it. If anybody's interested in anything, let me know. I'll let you know what it would take to start the bidding. I think we've sold a couple of things so far. But for the most part, I mean, my plan, I didn't really have any big expectations to sell anything today. It was more, I'm going to be looking through this stuff anyway, so might as well be hanging out with some friends while I do it. So this envelope also says BGA. That must be somebody's initials. So here's a birth certificate from, looks like it's got the raised seal. This is from 1954. And here's like a funeral, some funeral cards. So this person died in 1894. So an 1894 funeral card. Here's one who died in 1888. And then this person died in 1908. So you got 3 of and they're like on the same stock that you see cabinet cards be on there. And then finally, there's some kind of, it's like on onion skin type paper, and it's like Bible verses. Solomon, or not Bible verses, but it's about stuff about Solomon. It says, message by the Reverend Peter Jacobs of the Congregational Church in Tabor, Iowa from 1943. Oh, so it was like a funeral service is what that is. So you got a birth certificate, some funeral cards, and an order of worship for a funeral. It just keeps coming in here. Here's the last will and testament of somebody. from 1943. It's like an invoice, billhead type deal there. I'm not sure what that is. I don't think it's old though. A lot of this has to do, appears with maybe, yeah, these are like all things like when somebody died in 1940s. That's like where they bought the marker for the grave. Another one about the marker. This one says old report cards. Let's see how old they are. Yeah, I'm glad that I looked in that closet this morning. Here's an 1895, 1896 report card. Let's see. They were tardy 0 times, absent twice. They had good application and good recitation. They made hundreds and 95s and stuff on everything, so they were pretty smart. And then here's one from March 1899. Or they came to Tabor in 1899, and then here's their report card booklet. It's got, that one's kind of cool. It's actually a little book. It's got the Roll of Honor, the monthly something, and annual report. So anyway, a couple of old report cards from the 1800s there. Yeah, we've hit the good stuff now. Appreciate people spending part of their Friday afternoon. It's a nice, I like doing this. I mean, it's just nice to hang out with some people. When you're in your basement all day listening, it gets kind of boring. So here's uniform county teachers, first grade. Let's see what this says. Here's where they paid their $1 registration fee in 1910. And then here's it was inside this certificate. And then all their test scores there. Very, very cool. These are the papers from the safe that Mom wanted you to have. They're a little nasty. Or a little musty, not nasty. Some very old documents. The safe is yours if you ever want it, but it's too heavy to send to you. Here's the room charges. I wonder if this is from a birth. So it was $12 to stay for 2 days in the hospital. They paid $25 in medicine, $5 to the lab, and $10 for treatment. It's a little more expensive to go to the hospital now. And then here's the bill for the funeral, and it was $536.39. Also a little more than that if you do it now. This was 1943. It was $415 for the service, $100 for the vault, $10 for opening of the grave, $12 for the flower spray, and then $5.39 sales tax, and $6 for music. Here's some an old title and an old warranty deed. Those are from 1954. 1892 is that one. Hey, welcome in, Junk and Julie. Hats off. Lori, Heather, Jay Graft, and anybody else I missed. We're just unboxing all this ephemera I got in an estate sale this morning. There's some kind of old picture from Adamson store, wherever that is. Look at that old general store. That's pretty cool. Letters from Arilla at Oxford. Let's see what's in here. I may not pull these out. Let's see what they look like. Yeah, these are from the 40s. So I'll go through all these later. Yeah, I have my work cut out for me to process all this stuff, but it'll be fine. Ephemera is great, but figuring out the best way to sell it sometime can be a little bit challenging. So these are beacons from, I don't know. We'll see what they are. Makes me think newspapers when it says beacons. So let's see what they are here. Well, if I can get them out. There we go. One more. All right, so this one says, "Welcome to Tabor's Big Centennial." These are, that one's 1952, and here's one from 1975. Hoping they would have a little more interesting subject matter, but hey, that's okay. That one's from 1917 here. Oh, these are, it has something to do with the military draft there. And then here's the Tabor Beacon from 1895. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, there are some older papers in here too. See if I can, I think I'll get it back in there later. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and then this one's from 1942. Yeah, so yeah, I'm sure there's some interesting ads in here. Here's an 8-diamond bridle set for $42.50. Let's see, 4:15. I was planning on being finished by 4:30 since I think that's when Jocelyn goes live, and we'll raid over to her. This looks to be information. I don't know. It's something about somebody dying. So I'll look at that later. Letters about cemetery market. Pictures of them, letters from them, letters, blah, blah, blah. So this was a very interesting box. This is the last stuff in here. Here's a 1920 something from the War Department. I'm guessing it's going to be some kind of certificate or something. Let's see. Well, let's see if I can get it all out. So yeah, this is kind of sad. This guy died in World War I. It's the certificate they sent to his family, I guess. It says, Army of the United States of America. This is to certify that Journey, Gernie B. Adamsman, he was a private in Company G, died with honor in the service of his country on the 26th day of September 1918. And then there's also an envelope in here with something else. Let's see what this is. Looks like all this has to do with trying to get like a graves registration service. It was from 1919. I guess they were trying to get him buried maybe in one of the military cemeteries or something like that. So all be stuff to research later on. And then there's one more envelope in this box. And then we'll just kind of skim through the other stuff since we're getting close to the end. I appreciate everybody stopping by and hope you had a good time. I love looking through this stuff. And as I mentioned, I'm going to be looking through it anyway. It's always fun to share it with other people. So, yeah, so the last envelope in here, it says from Nordic Needle. Oh, this is a marriage certificate. It says from 1911. So a marriage certificate from 1911. So that's everything in that box. Let me get all this stuff back in here, and I'm going to set this box aside because this is definitely the box that I need to spend a little more time going through. Because there was some cool stuff in there. Hey, Retro Repeat Boutique. Yeah, for anybody's just joining, I am Stuart with Franklin Hill Ventures here in Knoxville, Tennessee. I bought a bunch of ephemera this morning at an estate sale, and I really don't even know what was in all the boxes. They basically just sold me all these boxes kind of sight unseen, and so I'm just going through it and seeing what all there is. So let me set this over here. Yeah, I mean, I've still got like 2 briefcases and like all kind of several more boxes of stuff over here. Here's one that says assorted pictures. Yeah, see these look newer. 93. Yeah, all this is just like color photos. I don't know exactly what I'll end up doing with that. This one says mother's pictures. Now these look like these could be older. Let's see here. Yeah, here was a real photo postcard with, it was in a scrapbook at one point, it looks like. So yeah, another set of old pictures here. Look at this person mowing the yard. That's pretty funny. Well, no, I mean, it's, I mean, I've sold a few things. I mean, if you see anything you're interested in, just let me know and I can let you know what it'll take to start it. But, like, I didn't catalog anything like that. Here's some 1940 World War II photos. Yeah, I just knew I had to go through this stuff anyway, so I thought, might as well do it on camera. And because I know a lot of people enjoy looking at old ephemera, especially. I know I like watching unboxing shows. My best ephemera unboxing show ever, I bought like 6 boxes of ephemera. And when I say boxes, they were all like 19 by 17 by, they were like the huge moving boxes, and they were all crammed full. And I drove to Kingsport, Tennessee from Knoxville. I found them on Facebook Marketplace, and I think he was asking like 800. I ended up getting it off for 600. And my gosh, it was the most fun stuff to go through. That was 2 or 3 years ago when I first started selling on the other live platform, and I unboxed on there. And golly, we found there were like whole sets of cigarette cards from the 1800s, all in binders and stuff. There were all kind of like Civil War stuff, World War One stuff, World War Two stuff. Yeah, it was nuts. Ended up doing like a 3-day event sale through that, and that was one of my better purchases ever, both just from a coolness standpoint, and I ended up doing really well financially with it as well. Um, I've actually still got stuff left over from it. Yeah, a lot of old photos in this envelope here. So I got about 10 minutes before we'll raid over to Jocelyn. This is a World War One photo there, or well, real photo postcard. Yeah, I'll have to do some research. I know some of the postcards that are some of the real photo postcards like this. I doubt if this one's like overly valuable, but I know like there'll be some from World War One era where they'll be like dressed in costumes in front of props. I found one time where like some soldiers were dressed like Native Americans, and that thing was nuts how valuable it was. But yeah, just looking at old pictures is just really cool. There's Mother's Mother. That's what it says. So, I think that's the same one we've already looked at. So yeah, this whole envelope's just cram-packed full of pictures and such. A few more in here. It's an old postcard of a two-headed dog. Put all this stuff back in. So hey, Wyndham 3021 Mo 1982. Appreciate y'all stopping in. I think we've been going since 3 o'clock, so almost an hour and a half now. Kind of wrapping up at this point. Here's some graduation pictures of some sort. A lot of military pictures in these. Not sure what that one's about there. Yeah, there's just, there is so much stuff in here. Ew, yeah, also, she must have been in some kind of accident. Ew, yeah. Not sure what that is, but not good. Here's 1948 Emory University graduating stuff. Golly, there is so much. I ain't even opened these two briefcases yet. Let's just give a quick look what's in there. Yeah, and what I'll probably do, I'll run an actual like ephemera show at some point and catalog, a bunch of this stuff. Let's see. Here's an old ladies' home journal that was in this briefcase. Isn't that baby cute? That is from 1946. I don't know who the baby is, but got that. Let's see what else is in here. This actually looks like mostly travel brochures. I would get, yeah, they're all like from England, Ireland. I bet they took a trip, and this is all the souvenirs. Yeah, like here's road maps for Central England. This stuff does not look particularly old. There's a bunch of postcards. So, yeah, I don't know. I'll probably end up having to just like light that stuff up into different groups. So there's that briefcase, and then there's this briefcase. Here's the Carters and Plains, Georgia postcard. So a postcard book of Jimmy Carter. Here's a patch from the North American Fishing Club, lifetime member. And then here's the John Beretta Title Company. Wonder if that has anything to do with the gun, Beretta. A bunch more postcards. Goodness, that's just so much stuff. And these are all like just photos. It looks like. Based on the envelopes, I'm guessing they're not particularly old. Yeah, just like color photos. So I'll have to go through all those later as well. Ooh, it's going to be kind of overwhelming, to be honest, because there is so much stuff there. But yeah, in addition to ephemera, like I mentioned, let me just give you an idea of like the other kind of stuff I sell. I mean, you can go to my knickknacks store front, and I mean, I probably have 400 or 500 things listed on there, I guess. And it's it's mostly not ephemera. Like if I turn my camera around, you can kind of see it's a little bit of everything. I mean, it's glassware, it's china. I sell a ton of china. My wife calls me the China King in Knoxville because I sell so much. You can see a lot of different china stuff, just collectibles, glassware. I mean, this whole shelf's full of inventory. Everything back here is stuff that's listed. And I'll probably do like I did a Shop My Shelves show one time, and that was fun and did really, ended up selling quite a bit out of that. So I may do that again here before long. And then on Monday, make sure you come 1 o'clock Eastern time. I'm going to be at one of my antique booths selling from there. So we'll just go through my antique booth and, show stuff. And if anybody's interested, I love this brass plate here. It's like a moth or something, I think. So, I also like this bullfighter plate. But yeah, you can see I have a little bit of everything. Some of this stuff's listed on District or on Knickknacks. Some isn't. Then I also have all this stuff back here. So I have a little bit of stuff. All this is ephemera up here. I love these Pac-Man glasses. This is all ephemera out here. So this is pretty much all ephemera that I pick from when I'm doing shows, either on Knickknacks or other platforms. Actually getting ready to take these to the auction here in town. They're Epson computers from the 80s, and they're still in the original box. Here's what it looks like when it's all set up. So I'll be taking that out to the auction house to sell. And then over here is where I run. It's kind of all pushed together, but this table comes out, and this is where when Amy and I do shows together, my wife, this is kind of our studio out here for live shows. But when I'm just doing it by myself and pulling stuff, I just do it in my office in there. So getting ready to go to the post office to take some packages as soon as I finish here. So anyway, well, we didn't make it through everything that I had to unbox. I've still got a lot of stuff to go through, but I think let me look over here on my computer and see if Jocelyn is live yet, and if she is, we'll raid over to her. Let's see, live streams. Oh yeah, she should be live here in just a second. So, but yeah, check out my, if you go to www.franklinhillventures.com, here, let me just show my sign over here. Yeah, if you go to franklinhillventures.com, that has links to all my different social media. Instagram, Facebook are the two main places that I post stuff. Make sure you give me a follow there. Check out my inventory I have on knickknacks. And I think there's also a link to my eBay store on my franklinhillventures.com. If you're ever coming through Knoxville, make sure you stop at one of the places I have an antique mall or an antique booth. That would be West End Antiques, Bearded Antique Mall, both in West Knoxville, or Granny's Attic in Clinton. And I'll just end by saying if you happen to be anywhere close to Knoxville the first weekend in May, that's when the big Spring Antique Festival is in Clinton. And it's a really big deal. They close the streets down. There's food vendors, there's street vendors with antiques. All the antique stores in Clinton run sales. I think there's live music. It's on Friday and Saturday, so whatever that first weekend in May date is. But yeah, if you happen to be around, stop and come in Granny's Attic, which is where I have my booth, and say hello. I'll be working all day Friday and half a day on Saturday. I normally work the whole weekend, but my oldest daughter's coming into town for a baby shower. She lives in Houston, and we're having our first grandbaby in June, so really looking forward to that. And she's coming to town for a shower that Saturday, so I'm gonna take off a little early. I'm not going to the shower, but we'll do something Saturday night. So anyway, can't wait to have a grandson. Makes me feel old, but it'll still be cool. I just wish they lived closer, but oh well, what can you do? Let me see if she's live yet. Nope, not quite yet. It says starting soon, so we'll give it another second or two. So where's everybody else from? I know if April's still in here, she's from Canada. Um, any other Tennesseans? I know I have a few Tennesseans who will stop by my shows. Hey, Shorty G, Ohio. Only been, let's see, where have I been in Ohio? I've been to Canton because I've been to the Pro Football Hall of Fame one time when I went up there for work. I've been to Columbus. That's about it in Ohio. Pennsylvania. I've been to Philadelphia. California, I used to go to Tustin like all the time. When I was working, we had an office out there, so I would go to Orange County a lot. And then I would periodically go to San Francisco as well. My daughter lives out west. She lives in Washington State. Um, yeah, she lives in Vancouver, Washington, which is basically a suburb of Portland, Oregon. And then she works for AmeriCorps right now, and she'll be moving to Seattle though as soon as she finishes her AmeriCorps. She's got some friends who live in Seattle, so she's going to move there and find a job. She's going to start applying for jobs, I think, in July, and hopefully find one. She said if not, she'll work at a coffee shop or something until she can find a real job. But she writes grants for nonprofits and things like that, and like coordinates volunteers. She's working for the city of Vancouver now and coordinates like different community days, like cleaning up parks, things like that. And when she was in school at the University of Alabama, she did the same thing in Birmingham and coordinated river cleanups. And she loves it. She's real outdoorsy. As I mentioned, her and my second daughter, they do a lot of hiking, and they've done the Camino de Santiago in Spain, which they did like 500 miles in like 33 days or something crazy like that. And then last summer they went to and did the Tour de Mont Blanc, which is a 103-mile loop trail in Switzerland, Italy, France, I think, maybe Austria. I can't remember the exact countries, but we live vicariously through them because I've never done anything like that in my life. And they're all the time doing fun stuff. But anyway. All right, Jocelyn's still running a little late, so we'll give her another minute. I mean, not that she needs my 14 viewers I've got right now. I'm sure she'll have hundreds and hundreds, but anyway, still be nice to always try to raid into somebody if there's somebody live when I'm on. I know Drunk Susie's still on, but she's been on for a while, so I'm imagining she's probably wrapping up. She may be waiting for the same thing, just to raid Jocelyn when she gets on. Let's see, Owensboro, Kentucky. I don't know if I've been to Owensboro or not. Is Owensboro? Is that the one in the west side of the state? Is it the one that's near? Is it like pretty close to Santa Claus, Indiana? I think that's the one we went through when we were going to Holiday World one time. But yep. So yeah, I remember we stopped and ate at some little restaurant in downtown Owensboro, um, and on our way to Holiday World. When we lived in Nashville, we went to Holiday World a time or two, and it was a really cool park. Combination water park and amusement park. And the thing I remember is they had free sunscreen. They had like sunscreen stations everywhere, so you could, and then free drinks. All the drinks were free as well. Now we go to Dollywood. We have Dollywood season passes, and it's fun. Um, we we got season passes this year for the first time in about 5 years. I mean, it's one of those you can only do it so many years in a row before you kind of get tired of it. But we figured we hadn't done it in long enough that there'd be new shows, and they did have some cool shows, and they like do different festivals like every month. So we try to go once a month and hit that festival. So, um, I mean, it can get so crowded there though in the summer that it's almost not fun to go when it gets like that. I guess it's like any theme park or amusement park would be like that. But yeah, anyway, I appreciate everybody stopping by. I hope you enjoyed going through. We made it probably through half the stuff that I got today. Um, I will probably try to do an ephemera show, like a true like ephemera selling show, sometime in the not too distant future, where I'll have everything cataloged. And I think actually District or Knickknacks now allows pre-bids. So, you can come in and look at things in advance if you're interested. Even if you can't be there, you can put a pre-bid in. Um, I mean, I'm loving the whole Knickknacks vibe, and the community's great. And I feel like I've made a lot of friends on here and see the same people in different shows. And, um, it's much the same vibe that the other live selling platform had in the early days. Uh, you know, I mean, to me, I'm not going to talk about the other platform, but I love Knickknacks, and it's a great community. I love just it's a very community feel, with a marketplace built around it. And I think Jocelyn did a really good job building the marketplace and the way she's approved sellers. And, um, it's just, I'm really enjoying it. And I hope everybody else is too. Let me refresh over here one more time. Oh, she is live now. So once again, thank you, thank you, thank you to everybody for stopping in. The people who bought stuff from me, that will ship out most likely Monday. If I get a wild hair, I might package it up and get it out before then, but at least by Monday. And thank you, Finders, Pickers, Papers, for stopping by. Glad you enjoyed it. And let's go ahead and get over here to Jocelyn. Everybody have a great weekend. Hope you find some treasures. I'll mute over here so I know. Give me just a second. All right, here we go. Bye, everyone.